Welcome to my library. And yes, there are thousands of books in this library. Somebody asked me once, have you read all the books in your library? And I'm thinking of a quote I heard a long time ago by someone who said, no, I haven't read all the books in my library, but I've read a few of them very, very well. And some of them I've only read once, some of them I've read not at all. I've only had them here to read one of these days. I like to read, and as they say, leaders are readers. If you want to be a leader, if you want to create some wealth in your life, you have to read, or you have to study, you have to learn, you have to grow. It's just part of the process. Now, all of these books were read over a period of 30 or 40 years, over a long, long, long period of time, just a little bit every single day. But as you want to create some wealth for yourself, remember, you're working on your internal life. You're working on you. You're working on your beliefs. You're working on your mindset. Remember, it's the biggest part of wealth is your mindset. And therefore, every single day, you need to place a few little seeds inside your mind. And what better seeds can you have than the thoughts and the geniuses of other great leaders, of other experts who have written down their thoughts in their books? I've written 10 books myself. But I've studied the lives of many, many great leaders over the years because I want to think like they think. We can take our time and we can invest it in television. We can read novels and fictional stories, or we can read, nonfiction. A big chunk of my library is spiritual books. A big chunk of my library here is nonfiction books. In my office, which is next door here, I have a whole nother set of books that I'm working on right now. So these are kind of books from my resources, and in there are books I'm using for research right now. And I'm going to recommend that you have a library. Rich people have libraries, and poor people have televisions. So which do you want? You don't have to have physical books like this. You should have them maybe digitally on an iPad or on your cell phone. But you need to be filling your mind with the thoughts that can make your life greater and better. That's exactly what wealth is all about. Wealth is yourself. You are your wealth. So you want to be able to add wealth to your life internally every single day, and that's the process. Now, over the years, I've read many, many biographies and autobiographies. I like to read the stories of lives of great people because I want to find out what drove them. What was their motivation? What did they think? If you want to create a great life, then you want to study the thoughts of other great people. So, I got a copy of the autobiography of Mark Twain, the greatest, one of the greatest fictional authors that's ever lived. This book wasn't published until 100 years after his death. And it's 2 big volumes like this. I'm still working on that one. One of my favorites is Churchill, and this is one of 3 volumes on Churchill. This is Joseph Smith, a great religious leader. This is Lincoln. This one is Steve Jobs recently. Mao, whether you like what he did or not, he was a great leader. And so I want to find out about his life. I want to read stories about Napoleon. I'm reading this one right now. This was Napoleon Hill, who wrote the greatest book, the greatest personal growth book ever written is called Think and Grow Rich. Well, this is his autobiography, and I want to find out what was his life when he wrote that great book. This was about Amazon.com and the creator of Amazon. This is one of the greatest success stories in the history of the world, and I want to find out how it happened. This is Gandhi, great story about Gandhi. Walt Disney, Sam Walton, who created, Walmart. Helen Keller, I read this one just a couple of weeks ago. I'm always studying the lives of great leaders. I want to pick up a few little nuggets about what they did and how they did it. In other words, I want to create my wealth, my internal wealth. And I recommend that you select the lives of your great heroes and heroines and read their stories. And you're going to find that the time you invest there will create your wealth behind greater than almost anything you could do.